Hey, yo, what's good, man, players? It's your boy, Desmond Sharp, man, back out here on this Madden NFL 21 franchise mode. And we are here with the last, yes, the last 1 o'clock game here in week number 14. In this matchup, we have the Chicago Bears, who are still searching for win number 1. They take on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, who are currently on a winning streak right now, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive because right now in the AFC, the 7th seed is currently held by the Buffalo Bills, who are 7-5, who take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Sunday game. The Texans trying to make sure that they get a win and a Bills loss to make sure that they are currently the 7th seed heading into week 15. Because like I said, the season has been getting in full swing. This season has been getting in full swing. But if you have not seen the rest of week 14, especially the Thursday game as well, and the explanation on what happened between the Vikings and Buccaneers matchup, and you can see the result from that game because it's going to be shown throughout the rest of week 14, so you'll know everything that happened. But if you want to see the stats for that game, make sure to go check out the Cardinals and Giants matchup, so you'll know all the stats and results from that Vikings Buck game. And also, don't forget to check out the last 13 weeks throughout the season, so you could get caught up with the series, just in case if you missed these. But we are set for the very last 1 o'clock scheduled game here in week 14. So with that, let's head up to Soldier Field in Chicago. The Chicago Bears looking to break their losing streak, or can the Texans make sure that does not happen and get themselves over 500 at 7-6? We're gonna find out.
Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Nick Foles and the Chicago Bears taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Houston Texans.
And those are the stats for Wes Montgomery in his last game, where his team only won by a touchdown at 10-3 in the win against Indy.
Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come at the bottom of the NFL power rankings, and we understand why. They're 0-12. And even behind the power rankings.
Alright, so the Chicago Bears, they're going to kick it off to the Texans to start the game. So we will see Deshaun Watson and that Texan offense to begin the game. And with that, we're on the way from Chicago. And Randall Cobb is not going to return this one. So the Texans set to begin their opening drive. Leading them, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson in his 4th year now in the league as he gets set to operate this Houston Texans offense.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
Watson on first down.
And Watson, and on the first play, throws incomplete.
They took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But second down.
And here's Duke Johnson. And he'll go down at the 31. A gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Gain of 6. And it's third down.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 now here on 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson.
Watson looking to throw, and instead he's going to run.
He may try and run
And
for
he'll
this.
go down at the 40 and a first down.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Watson had all day. I'm talking about it was nobody near him. He had all day to try to look for a receiver. A good thing he ran for the first.
On first down, it's Watson.
And Watson on first and 10, he finds Wes Montgomery.
This one is stopped
A
at
gain
the
of
2-yard
8 that time.
marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 catches, 138 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Here's Watson. And an open receiver is Wes Montgomery for a first down.
Receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson.
Watson. An open receiver is Wes Montgomery. And down he goes, getting this to the 10-yard line. A gain of 20 more and a first down for Houston.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
And here's Duke Johnson. But that goes nowhere.
There, he's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12.
Watson. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to go back to Wes Montgomery, but instead 3rd down.
And settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right.
Watson, and he goes down.
He's taken down. Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith with the sack.
Sack of the season.
Brings up a 4th down for Houston.
You just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Charlie Fairburn on for the extra point. And he's got it. And he gives the Texans a 3-0 lead.
Texans.
3, Bears nothing.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard.
So now the Texans, they're set to kick this one away.
Just trying to establish itself to start a game. That look pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they have 3
And
first
Patterson
downs and 2
returning it.
points.
And he'll go down at the 25-yard line. So that's when the Bears will take over. Leading them, Nick Foles.
In charge here in 2020. Of course, a former Super Bowl MVP in Nick Foles.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And here's Young. And he'll go down at the 27-yard
In
line.
the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
2nd and 8. Young.
Give him 3 on the run there now.
A gain of 3. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Foles.
And Foles fumbles the football, but the Bears were able to get it back.
Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it, changes field position.
And here's KJ Tucker. And they'll bring him down, getting us to the 35.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now it's
Watson. And he's sacked. Khalil Mack. He gets the sack.
Strategy on that particular play just came from the outside.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
2nd and 18. Watson is sacked again. This time Ryan Anderson gets to him. So that's back-to-back sacks that the Texans have given up. So now it's going to be 3rd and long, and they're going to most definitely have to pick up the first.
Texans 3, Bears nothing.
Back-to-back sacks in this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long down. Out of the gun,
Watson, and that was complete. Brandon Cooks. And he'll go down across midfield at the 48.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun,
Watson. Deep ball downfield. Caught by Tucker. And he'll go down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 38 that time.
Make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions, they're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers.
KJ Tucker was able to hold on to that ball.
Decision can open up even more big plays.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Operating from the gun,
Watson, and he goes down. Roquan Smith with the sack.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and drop. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
Off of play action. completion. It's Watson.
Watson complete to Kenny Stills.
And he's able to get it down.
And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 2.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. You're the offensive coordinator. You might look into that section. A heck of a lot.
Watson caught by Montgomery. Touchdown Houston.
A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans will extend their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Coyote Fairbairn on for the extra point.
And here's Fairbairn for the extra point. And he puts it in to make it 10-0 Texans.
Lead to 10-zip. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
So that's not looking too good for Chicago, but they still got enough time.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking in the
And
end zone.
Patterson, he's not going to turn this one, so this one's going to be a
Comes
touchback.
out to the 25. Chicago works their way back on the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
And here's Young. And he'll go down, getting this to the 33 after a gain of 8.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On play action, no throw.
Foles. And open receiver is Christopher Bosch. And he'll go down at the 43-yard line. First down, Chicago.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And here's Young. And he'll go down at the 45. A gain of 2.
It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
From the 35 on 2nd down.
Foles. And he connects with Allen Robinson.
He's going to be taken down.
And he's got another first
Lead
down.
at the Texans 42. Falls on target to Robinson for the Chicago first. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
And Nick Foles finds Charles Young on a screen pass. And he gets this one inside the 30 to the 28.
Gains that one for 14 yards and another first.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options and completing the pass.
Foles caught Robinson. Touchdown Chicago. He caught that ball one-handed. Did you see that? Watch this. One-handed grab.
That's definitely in my mind, but how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers...
Allen Robinson, how about that?
Go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point.
Pinheiro puts in the extra point. And that was 10-7.
So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Eddie
Pinheiro to kick it away. And Cobb, he's not going to return this one, so this one's going to be a touchback. So Houston set to come back out.
The Texans offense trot back out there. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen
And here's Duke Johnson.
in this contest.
And he'll go down at the 33. A gain of 8.
That's a really nice job by him picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked.
And Watson trying to get away, but he's sacked. Michael Jefferson, he gets the sack that time.
You have to have your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Watson on 3rd down, and he finds Brandon Cooks. And he'll go down right at midfield.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 50, it's Watson.
Watson. And a diving catch by Montgomery.
That's over 40 yards of movement.
What a catch by Montgomery that time.
First down, Houston.
So Montgomery with the diving catch, and the Texans, it looks like they're going to go to the last few seconds of this first half.
3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He is first.
And Fairburn for the field goal, he puts it in. And he gives the Texans a 6-point lead at halftime against the winless Bears.
As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14.
And up next, we got the 4 o'clock scheduled games. Beginning in Seattle, the 10-2 Seahawks face off with the undefeated New York Jets. Then we're going to be up in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders trying to get win number 3 on the season as they take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play in the second quarter. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
So in this first half, it has been great. A tight game so far, a 6-point game. And there's another look at that one-handed grab by Allen Robinson. That one will never be forgotten. But the Bears are going to get the ball to start the second half, looking to get themselves into the lead. And Patterson's going to return it. And he'll go down at the 23-yard line. So the Bears will take over.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a
And here's Cohen. He'll go down at the 28-yard line.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A gain of 6.
That's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles around the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On 2nd down and 4.
Foles. And open is Charles Young. And down he goes, gets it to the 36 in the first.
Because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks.
And Foles, he's sacked. Wendy Merciless with the sack.
Whitney Merciless has now recorded 10 sacks of the season.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there's no way he was getting away on that one.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one.
And here's Cohen, and he goes absolutely nowhere.
Defense, they're all charged up now. They stop it behind the line for the 2nd straight play. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Foles, and great defense there. J.J. Watt was able to swat that one away.
Come up empty on this first drive of the 2nd half. Still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to
And
look at
K.J.
defense.
Tucker, no return for him. And they're going to spot this one at the 14-yard line.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over.
Watson, and he's going to find K.J. Tucker.
And some gratitude.
And they'll bring him down at the 33-yard line. First down, Houston.
Give him 19. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
And here's Johnson, and he goes nowhere, losing yardage to the 31.
2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now it's 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12. From the gun, Watson.
And Watson is sacked. Khalil Mack, he gets the sack.
In there again, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now Watson.
Watson, and that's intercepted.
It's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
Kyle Fuller picks it, and Kyle Fuller returns it. Pick 6.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He didn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point.
So Pinheiro for the extra point. This to give the Bears the lead, and he's got it.
This puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Is this the week where the Bears finally break this losing streak?
Pick 6, they'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
I mean, we're going to see. We still have one more quarter left to see what happens.
And they'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now out comes Houston.
And they just had the pick six. They're looking to do something different on this drive.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson.
Watson, and this one's incomplete.
He was knocked as he threw it, and he took the ball off course.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
Watson, and he's going to find Wes Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 37-yard line. First down, Houston.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now the first down throw,
Watson, and he's going to find Montgomery again. And he'll go down at the 41-yard line. First down, Houston.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open, just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First and 10,
Watson looking end zone for KJ Tucker. Touchdown, Houston.
Touchdown, Houston.
And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
And the Texans, they're going to stay out there to go for the 2-point try. Watson, and wide open is Montgomery for the 2-point conversion.
And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
So the Bears, they're going to get another possession. But this time, they're looking to put some points on the board. They're looking to put some more points on the board. Looking to tie the game.
Ready to go as they take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even up at 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with it.
And here's Young. And he'll go down at the 30. A gain of 5.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now
Foles. And he's going to find Allen Robinson. And he'll go down across midfield at the 47.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
And that's going to do it for quarter number 3.
For this third quarter of action, this is the National Football League on EA Sports.
We have ourselves a 7-point game here in Chicago. The Bears with the football, looking to tie the game. Foles, and he's going to find Young. And he'll go down for only a yard to the 46.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And Foles, nowhere to throw, and he throws this one away.
Here he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Third down and 9 yards to
7 on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And fools, he's sacked. Zach Cunningham. He gets the sack.
And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
And KJ Tucker is not going to return it. And they're going to spot this one at the 11.
Houston set to take over. Right now playing to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling.
And here's Duke Johnson. As the Texans now looking to tick that clock down, so they make sure that they get out of here with a victory.
In the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And here's David Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 19-yard line.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
3rd and 2. Watson. Look at deep downfield, and that's intercepted. Ryan Anderson picks it. And the Bears, they're going to get the ball back.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way.
And here's Young. And nowhere to run that time. Tackled at the 41.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the Texans.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Foles looking to throw, and he gets rid of this one.
Nowhere to throw. He chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw.
Foles, and he's going to find Young. Breaking a tackle, it's Young. And he'll go down at the 25. 1st down, Chicago.
The design that we're seeing right there, this is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop the throw.
Foles, and he's going to find Christopher Bosch. And they'll bring him down at the 6-yard line.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But
1st and goal, Young.
as they come up on 1st
And he'll go down at the 3-yard line.
gain of 3. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him.
And they're going to hand it to Young, and he's in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Chicago. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. The hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then the defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what, I know there's an inclination in it. When you have momentum, you go for 2 here.
Extra point is good, and we are tied.
You obviously got the fight to catch.
A minute and 30 left, though. Anything could happen. All the Bears are hoping is that the defense could step up.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kicks away.
And Kyle, he's not going to return this one. So the Texans will begin their next drive, looking to give themselves the lead.
Setting back out there, and it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that well. You can't go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free.
And here's Watson. And he'll go down at the 28, a gain of 3.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Watson. And open is Wes Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 43-yard line.
Clock's under a gun. It's still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Dancing to his left.
Watson. And wide open is Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 37-yard line. A huge play there for Houston.
There's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here,
No
don't you?
doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
And the Texans, it looks like they're going to try to go for a game winner. I mean, we've seen a bunch of game winners so far this season. It seemed like the Texans are trying to get themselves one.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
So it's all on Kylie Fairbairn to give the Texans the win. If he makes it, then the Texans will go to 7-6. If not, then we have OT. If Kylie Fairbairn makes this, the Texans are going to win. If not, then we have OT. And Fairbairn, and he missed it. He missed the field goal, so we have overtime. The 3rd overtime game in this 1 o'clock schedule.
They go down and kick a field goal. The other team gets in possession to either match it.
And I hope you guys remember those results. The Buccaneers won in overtime, and the Cowboys have won in overtime. Who will win this time around? Will it be the Houston Texans going to 7-6? Or will it be the Bears snapping their long-time 12-game losing streak? We will all find out.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kicks away.
And Patterson's not going to return this one, so this one's going to be a touchback as Chicago takes over.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime, obviously a touchdown to win.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown.
I still can't believe what we're witnessing right now. 3 overtime games in the 1 o'clock schedule so far in week 14. That is impressive. And here's Tariq Cohen on the first play of OT, and he's got a first down.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive. It's a quick first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that could be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders, were both 5'10".
And Foles, he goes down. J.J. Watt, he gets the sack that time.
There for the sack, and he's closing out on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Throwing on second and long.
And Foles, he goes down again.
He goes again.
Wendy Merciless with the sack.
And there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains.
This is not going to be good for Chicago. 3rd and 31.
And you hate those situations if you're
And they have got to pick up a first. And as soon as I say that, they get nothing.
They can be exotic in their blitzes.
Wow.
Athletic ability just takes over.
So the Bears are going to have to send this one away.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now.
And all they have to do is avoid a field goal. Or a touchdown at least.
AC winner there.
And here's Tucker. And he'll go down at the 40-yard line. So the Texans will take over.
First and 10. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the
Watson, he's going to run. Oh, and he fumbled. And the Bears pick it up.
And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball
A
security.
costly mistake there by Watson.
Do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it
So now the Bears, they have a chance to win it.
by discussing it?
Oh my gosh, John Elijah won.
Almost became self-fulfilling.
Any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now.
Wow,
It's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up
that
second
was a
and 11.
murder.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again to the
And here's Young again.
and he goes
And this time he'll go down at the 46. And it looks like the Texans are going to use a timeout.
the defense.
They probably want to save that last timeout for whether they probably would try to go for a field goal attempt if they needed.
Extra defender in the secondary.
It's 3rd and 5, and the Texans looking for a stop. Foles, and it's incomplete.
Releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So O'Daniel's gonna send this one away towards the sideline, and the Texans have 1 minute and 8 seconds to get down the field. They're gonna start at the 12.
Head back out to do battle here. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are
Watson, and open is Brandon Cooks. And Brandon Cooks, he's gonna win the game.
And for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
Deshaun Watson delivers. Brandon Cooks was wide open, turned on the Jets. He wins the game for Houston.
Our finals and another great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing count.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that?
What a game.
Game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Houston, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Bears, you start to wonder if it's going to happen this year. The skid has hit 13 in a row on the season. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yo, man, what a game that we just witnessed. What a game that we just witnessed. between the Texans and Bears. Both teams going at it. Now, we thought the Texans were going to seal the game in regulation, but with the Kylie Fairbairn miss, the Texans were so mad that they really wanted to end the game in regulation. And then once they got the ball the second time, Deshaun Watson, he figured that he needed to pass. He threw the ball. Brandon Cooks ended up wide open, and he takes it all the way to the house as the Texans defeat the Bears in OT. So here are the stats. 127 yards thrown for Nick Foles, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions thrown. But he got sacked 5 times. That's gonna have to change in their next game when they head to Minneapolis in their next game in Week 15. And Deshaun Watson, he played tremendous. 400 yards throwing the ball, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which was almost costly because some of those passes he threw were pretty bad passes. And he also got sacked 6 times, which wasn't too much costly, but at least his team got the dub. Charles Young, 10 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown run. Duke Johnson, 5 carries, 18 yards. Deshaun Watson, 3 carries for 17 yards. Tyreek Cohen, 3 carries for 15 yards. And here's the receiving. Brandon Cooks, 3 catches for 141 yards and the game-winning touchdown. Wes Montgomery was on a rampage in this one. 9 catches, 140 yards and a touchdown. KJ Tucker, 3 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown. Allen Robinson, 3 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Charles Young, 5 catches, 35 yards. Christopher Bosch, 2 catches, 29 yards. And Kenny Stills, a catch for 21. So for Houston, they get themselves over 500 now at 7-6. And they'll get another road test in Week 15 as they head to Indy to take on the Colts. Meanwhile, for Chicago, you're starting to wonder now if the winless season might happen for them, as they've fallen now 0-13. And they will have a chance to bounce back in their next game as they head to Minneapolis for a matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. And with that final result there, the 1 o'clock schedule has come to an end. So here are the stats and results from the 1 o'clock schedule games, just in case if you missed them. So those are all the final results, and which is the craziest part. 3 overtime games. The game in Tampa, the game in Cincinnati, and then the game in Chicago. 3 overtime games in the 1 o'clock schedule. Amazing. But anyways, we are set to begin the 4 o'clock schedule games because those are up next. We only have 5 of them. If you enjoyed this game, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Next game in Seattle. Jets and Seahawks. Jets trying to remain unbeaten. Seattle's trying to get themselves to 11-2 and end the winning streak for New York. But we will find out. And we're on the road to 200 subscribers. It's your boy Dez, and I'm gone.